A light in the storm. The little dinos were busy getting ready for a party, so they searched deep in the caves until Mazu found just what they needed to decorate the den. Shiny glow weeds. On the way home, the friends played a game of follow the leader. They hopped, skipped, and danced through the caves. Then it was Bill's turn. Bill froze on one spot. Me? The leader says, let someone else lead. Rocky jumped in. The leader says, let's race home. They all sprinted towards the cave's exit. But the race was cut short by what they saw when they got to the exit, or rather, what they didn't see. Where did the jungle go? Marsh said, gazing out. I can't see anything. It's still there, Mazu explained. It's just covered in fog. Just then, there was a cry from above. Whoa! Something crashed down in a blur of feathers. Hagen, the dinos cried. Are you okay? Hagen inspected herself. Landing gear, check. Cockpit, check. I think I'm okay, but there's a terrible storm coming behind this fog. Oh dear, we'd better hurry up and get home, said Bill. I give you a lift, but I can't see either. They were going to need a brave dino to lead them home. Not me, cried Bill. Mazu can lead us, Tiny said. She knows every corner of this jungle. With Mazu in charge, they were soon making steady progress through the fog. Stinky flower on the left, Mazu called. Carnivorous plant on the right. I'm so glad that Mazu's the one leading us. Soon the ground under their feet grew soft, and a line of horseshoe crabs trudged towards them. Hold on and follow me. We must be in the swamp, Mazu said. But as she tried to lead him through the group of crabs, the fog grew even thicker. In the confusion, Bill lost hold of Tiny's tail. I'm over here, Bill. Tiny's voice drifted through the fog. Grab on. Bill fumbled blindly until his hand closed around Tiny's tail. I found you, he sighed in relief, clinging on tightly as he followed his friends through the fog. Are we there yet? Asked Marsh, sounding worried. Mazu, where are we? Bill called, but there was no reply. Mazu? Bill peered through the fog. Suddenly he realized that he wasn't holding on to Tiny's tail at all. It was the tail of a horseshoe crab. You're not Tiny. What do we do without our friends? Marsh whimpered. I guess we'll have to find the way home ourselves, said Bill. Lead the way. No way. You're older, but you're bigger. But I'm too scared, wailed Marsh. Bill sighed, before timidly leading his friend through the fog. Look out, stinky flowers on the left. Mazu, Tiny, and Rocky trudged on. completely unaware that they had lost Bill and Marsh in the swamp. "Haven't we seen these before?" Tiny said, ducking out of the way of a snapping flower. Marsh took a big sniff of that stinky one last time. "Right, Marsh?" But of course Marsh wasn't there. "Where did they go?" Rocky said, looking around. "They've gone." "Oh no, we must have lost them in the jungle," cried Tiny. "Bill, Marsh," the little dinos shouted as they ran back through the fog, searching for their friends. Meanwhile, Bill had smelled something much nicer than stinky flowers. "Is that watermelon?" he said, sniffing the air. Closing his eyes and trusting his nose, he followed the smell further and further until he walked right into a watermelon. Bump! And the yellow dino who was clutching it. "Patchy," Bill exclaimed, relieved to see a friendly face. Bill knew that the watermelon patch was next to the savannah, which meant only one thing. "I'm so glad to see you." "We must be near the den," cried Bill. "Patchy, which way did you come from?" "I have no idea," sighed Patchy. "Never mind, I'll just have to sniff us to safety instead," Bill said. He closed his eyes, held on to the others, and let his nose lead the way. Sniff, sniff. "Bill, Marsh," called Rocky, Tiny, and Mazu. Perhaps they would hear us if we were louder. Mazu puzzled. So she rolled a big leaf into a tube, turning the leaf into a megaphone. "Bill, Marsh, where are you?" But as Mazu's voice got stronger, so did the wind. The huge leaf became like a sail, lifting her off the ground. Rocky and Tiny grabbed her feet, but it wasn't enough. At the same time, Bill stopped sniffing his way to safety when he heard a faint yell. Marsh squinted up at the sky. "The wind's blowing the fog away," he said. "And look who's coming our way." "Help!" Quick as a flash, Bill climbed up Marsh's back, and then he leapt high into the air. He caught Tiny's tail. With all his strength, he pulled his three friends safely down to the ground. "I've got you." "Back together at last," Bill cheered. "And close to the den. What could stop us now?" At that very moment, huge dark clouds thundered across the sky and rain started to pour down. How about a terrible storm and total darkness? Bill gulped. Well, it can't get worse than that. Thud. Thump. Thud. The dino spun around to see a wet and angry Giganto coming towards them. Bill, whispered Marsh. Maybe you shouldn't have said that. Oh no, Giganto won't see this in the dark, Bill cried. Thinking fast, he desperately waved the glow weeds they found, trying to get the dino's attention. Stop. Little dino's here. Giganto skidded to a stop, shaking the ground uncontrollably. Bill went flying and landed on top of the glow weeds, which covered him in blue power. The glowing lights went out. Oh no! That's it, Bill groaned. I've done everything I can to get us home, but I'm just not cut out to be a leader. You led me out of the swamp, said Marsh. And got us out of the jungle, added Patchy. You saved us from a storm, cried Mazu. Tiny smiled. See, you're a natural leader. But Bill still couldn't see a way to get home now that the glow weeds were ruined. Just then, Giganto began to sniff and snort. He wriggled his snout. Achoo! The powder on Bill began to glow, lighting him up like a dino lantern. Giganto sneeze was so loud that it sent Bill running across the savannah in fright. His glowing path led his friends right back to their den. Time to party. When they got inside, the dinos were finally ready to throw their party. I'm so hungry, said Bill, looking down at his rumbling tummy. It is hungry work being the leader, agreed Tiny, bringing him a bowl of snacks. Bill drooled. Well, in that case, the leader says, let's eat. While the dino friends are out hunting for shiny glow weeds, a thick fog settles over Cretaceous. When Bill and Marsh get separated from the group, can Bill bravely leave them to safety? And will the friends make it back to the den unscathed? Watch the episode and read the story in the latest Gigantosaurus adventure. Finding Dinosia. Dino friends were bored in their den. There's nothing to do in Cretaceous, Mazu sighed. No adventures, no new friends to play with, said Tiny. Nothing new to eat, said Bill. And no new games, added Rocky. Well, if you're looking for something to do... Ayati popped her head up. Maybe Dinosia would be better for you, she said. Dinosia, the friends asked. What's that? Don't you know? Dinosia is a place where anything's possible, Wise Ayati whispered back. There's always something new to discover. New friends, new food, and new games to play. Rocky leapt to his feet. Where is this place? Ayati thought for a second. You have to follow the sparkles, or something like that. All this remembering is making me tired. She yawned. The dinosaurs were anything but tired, so they set off. But there were no sparkles to be seen. Wait, what's over there? Said Bill, pointing to the lake. Sparkles, cried Tiny, racing over. Is that the way to Dinosia? But it's in the middle of the lake, puzzled Mazu. Let's build some boats and find out, Rocky said, spotting the huge lily pads on the water. Shiny sparkles. The dinos hopped aboard their new lily pad boats and rowed out into the lake. What are we looking for again? Bill asked. Me, perhaps? Arg, the friends cried. The little dinos spun around to see Terminator. Back off, Termy, Rocky yelled. We're looking for sparkles. Sparkles? Termy laughed. Well, why didn't you say so? She gave a huge grin, and her fangs glinted in the sunlight. Is this sparkly enough for you? Luckily, a gust of wind blew the little dinos to an island in the middle of the lake. Termy's laugh echoed over the water. You might have got away for now, but you'll have to leave the island eventually. Leave us alone, Termy. Rocky loved an adventure, but poor Mazu wasn't so sure. We'll never find Dinosia with Termy guarding us, she groaned. Just then, she spotted some huge bubbles. Wow, I've never seen bubbles that big before. The dinos followed the bubbles until they found a group of strange-looking fish blowing them into the air. Blop, blop, blop. Bill poked at a bubble. They're so strong, not even Giganto could pop them. They're incredible. Gifts, Tiny. Look at how they sparkle. Sparkle? Rocky suddenly had an idea. Maybe that's our way to Dinosia. He took a deep breath, then raced after a bubble as fast as he could, took a running jump, and landed right on top of it. What a great idea. Everyone else soon followed on bubbles of their own, and they soared high over the lake. Bye, Termy, Tiny called. Please don't cry, but we've got to fly onwards to Dinosia. She waved as Terminator looked up, snapping her jaws. Bill gave his rumbly tummy a rub. Are we there yet? I'm sure we'll be there soon, said Mazu. See you later, Terminator. Hey, I didn't order takeaway lunch. Far below, in the green of the jungle, something bright caught Tiny's eye. Look, she said, pointing. There's something sparkling down there. The dinos floated down to get a closer look and realized they were golden flowers. but Giganto got there before them. He was munching away, golden petals sparkling in his huge jaws. Is Giganto eating them? Asked Tiny. I guess they must be safe too. Munch, munch, munch. Yum, Bill said, already one step ahead. Soon all 4 dinos were filling up on golden flowers. Yummy, tasty, delicious. Ah. Suddenly, Tiny vanished with a yelp. Tiny, called Rocky, where did you go? But she was nowhere to be seen. I'm down here, came a distant voice from a hole in the ground. The dinos gathered around and spotted her below. Are you okay? They called. I'm fine, Tiny said. But come down here. I think I've found something. Hold on, Tiny. We're coming. Rocky, Bill, and Mazu jumped in and landed in a dark, shadowy cavern. Where are we? Asked Rocky. I'm not sure, but look at those sparkly lights, Tiny said, pointing to some glowing dots in the air. Are they fireflies? Rocky tried to get closer, but the fireflies sped off. Ooh, fireflies. Maybe they know how to get to Dinosia. When you've got to glow, you've got to glow, Tiny giggled. As the dinos roared with laughter, the fireflies returned. Keep going, Tiny, Rocky said. I think they like your jokes. What do fireflies eat? Light snacks. Tiny kept telling jokes as the fireflies danced around them. Why did the firefly stop glowing? Because he was burned out. One bad joke later, and the fireflies disappeared down the tunnel. Do you think it leads to Dinosia? The dinos followed the fireflies through the dark tunnel until they found a secret exit. They walked out onto a sparkling moonlit beach, yet it looked very familiar. Wait, is this Dinosia? Bill asked. Mazu looked around. I don't know. It looks like Cretaceous, but different. Just then, the calm was broken by a deep rumbling. Roar! I'd know that sound anywhere. Bill stared in amazement as Cretaceous' largest dino stomped past. Giganta! A tiny yellow dino ran quickly in the other direction. It was Ignatius! I see my firefly friends showed you the secret exit, said the tiny dino, pointing at the cave. Wait, Rocky said. That's the cave in Cretaceous. But we've been there 1,000 times. Suddenly, it dawned on them. They had been trying to find Dinosia when there was lots of fun to be had right here at home. Rocky built lily pad boats. Bill found delicious new food. Mazu made an exciting discovery. And Tiny met some new friends. We just needed to see Cretaceous in a new light, said Tiny. A sparkly light. The next day, the dinos returned to the beach. Bill cooked up a feast of golden flowers, Tiny told some jokes, and Rocky floated on a bubble. But Mazu had one big question for Yayadi. Does Dinosia really exist? She asked. Oh no, Ayani gave a deep laugh. That was just a little tale. But one day when you're bigger, I'm sure you'll travel to new lands for lots of adventures. Well, if we do, Tiny said, placing a hand over her heart. We'll always bring Cretaceous with us. Woohoo! Cretaceous is awesome. Bill, Mazu, Rocky, and Tiny are bored. They want some excitement and adventure in their lives, and what better place to find it than Dinosia? But where is this mystical land? Is it even real? Watch the episode and read the story in the latest Gigantosaurus adventure.